Reflecting on the transition from the PS4 to the PS5, we encounter a critical question. Did the seamless backward compatibility between these two consoles inadvertently lead to a lack of motivation for developing truly next-gen games? This is a question worth pondering, especially given Sony's apparent strategy shift with the PS5. When the PS4 launched in November 2013, it marked a significant shift in Sony's approach to console design, particularly in terms of hardware architecture. The PS3, launched in 2006, was built on the complex cell architecture, which was a joint development by Sony, Toshiba, and IBM. This architecture was theoretically powerful, but it posed a significant challenge for third-party developers due to its complexity.
The PlayStation 3 makes my life as a software developer much harder. All of a sudden I'm supposed to figure out how to have this asymmetrical, multi-threaded game, right? And I've never written a single line of multi-threaded code ever, right? It's not like I was like lying awake saying, I need to re-architect every line of code I've ever written in order to get it to work.
As a result, despite the PS3's robust hardware capabilities, many games did not fully utilize its potential, leading to performance issues when compared to the more developer-friendly Xbox 360. However, Sony's first-party studios gradually mastered the PS3's architecture, delivering games with stunning visuals and innovative gameplay that fully leveraged the console's capabilities. As the PS3 era drew to a close, Sony took the lessons learned and insights gained from the cell architecture's challenges. Mark Cerny, appointed as the lead system architect for the next console, faced the task of designing a machine that was both powerful and developer-friendly. Cerny's solution was a significant departure from the cell architecture, opting instead for a more standardized x86-64 architecture provided by AMD. This move aligned more closely with the architecture used in personal computers, making it significantly easier for developers to create games for the new console. The PS4's architecture was indeed a success in terms of ease of development and performance. However, this architectural shift came with a drawback. Backward compatibility with PS3 games was not feasible. The PS4's AMD architecture was fundamentally different from the PS3's cell architecture, meaning that PS3 games, which were specifically designed to run on the unique and complex cell processor, could not be directly played on the PS4. This was a point of contention for many PlayStation fans who had hoped to play their PS3 game library on the new console. Despite this limitation, Sony's strategy with the PS4 was clear: to create a powerful, developer-friendly console that could push the boundaries of gaming experiences. This approach paid off, with the PS4 becoming one of the best-selling consoles of all time, renowned for its extensive library of high-quality games. The lessons learned from the PS3 era were instrumental in shaping the PS4's development, leading to a console that balanced performance, developer accessibility, and innovative gaming experiences. The PS5's architecture, closely resembling that of the PS4, was a strategic move by Sony to address one of the significant pain points of the previous generation: backward compatibility. This decision was lauded by many, as it allowed gamers to continue enjoying their PS4 libraries on the new console without any hassle. The transition was smooth, and players could instantly access a vast array of titles they had grown to love. This convenience, however, might have had unintended consequences. In the past, a new console generation typically meant a clean break from the old, pushing developers to explore the limits of the new hardware and create games that were distinctly next-gen. This generational leap was often a driving force for innovation and creativity in game development. However, with the PS5's backward compatibility and similar architecture to the PS4, there was less of a clear demarcation between the generations. The urgency to develop games that could only be experienced on the new hardware was arguably diminished. 4 years into the PS5's life cycle, we find ourselves in an interesting situation. The console, undoubtedly powerful, has yet to see a widespread library of games that fully exploit its capabilities and differentiate themselves from the previous generation. The standout titles like Spider-Man 2 and God of War Ragnarok are exceptional, but they are exceptions rather than the rule. Many of the games available on the PS5 are cross-gen, effectively straddling the line between the PS4 and PS5 without fully committing to the new hardware's potential. This situation raises a crucial question about Sony's strategy. Did the emphasis on backward compatibility, while consumer-friendly and a smart business move, inadvertently stifle the drive to push the boundaries of the PS5's hardware? Did it create a comfort zone that reduced the urgency to innovate and develop games that could only be realized on the new console? It's a complex issue with multiple factors at play, including the global pandemic's impact on game development, However, it's an important consideration as we look at the current state of PS5 gaming and what the future might hold. Another point of contention is the PS5's advertised capabilities. The box mentions 4K, 8K, 120Hz, but the reality is that achieving 60 FPS often means playing mostly at 1440p. If you opt for 4K, you're restricted to 30 FPS. For many gamers, including myself, returning to 30 FPS is not an option. I'm not going to delve too much in this, as I spoke about this several times, but it's worth mentioning for this video. Take, for example, Naughty Dog's recent release of The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster. Digital Foundry's review attempts to highlight the differences, but in motion, the PS4 and PS5 versions are indistinguishably similar. Even the 60 FPS mode on PS5, which runs at 1440p, shows no notable difference from the PS4 version. With Xbox acquiring numerous studios and making significant strides, I believe we'll start to see the impact of these moves in the next couple of years. Sony needs to up their game this year, with truly next-gen optimized titles to maintain their lead. Personally, I'm growing tired of playing PS4 games on my PS5 and eagerly await the next leap. Another aspect of the current generation that has left many, including myself, feeling somewhat disappointed is Sony's apparent prioritization of developing and marketing accessories over games, such as DualSense Pro controller, PS VR2, PS Portal, and a range of headphones. Honestly, when you purchase a PS5, which comes with a DualSense controller, you're essentially equipped with nearly everything you need to enjoy what the console has to offer. This brings us to question the necessity and timing of these additional accessories. It's not that these products aren't useful or innovative. In fact, many of them are quite impressive in their own right. However, the primary allure of a gaming console lies in its games, and this is where Sony's focus seems to have been less sharp than expected.
People buy PlayStation, like, what the hell is this? First of all, I got this for my kids for Christmas, thinking they can go to their grandparents' house and be on a PlayStation 5 and so on and so forth. And no, if you leave the house, you cannot play this. What's the point?
So is the PS5 worth it in 2024? My answer is yes, especially if you're still gaming on a PS4. However, don't expect to be overwhelmed by a vast selection of next-gen exclusives in the PlayStation Store. Think of it like upgrading from a 10-year-old gaming PC. You're still able to play all the new games, but only on low settings. Now imagine moving to a high-end PC where you can enjoy those games with higher settings, smoother frame rates, and even some ray tracing. The PS5 breathes new life into your old games for sure. And honestly, for about $500, you're getting an amazing console. I assure you, finding a PC with comparable performance at this price point is a tough challenge. The PS5 stands out with its lightning-fast custom SSD, drastically reducing load times and facilitating a smoother, more immersive gameplay experience. This is complemented by the innovative DualSense controller, which revolutionizes player interaction with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers, offering realistic tactile sensations that match in-game activities. The console's support for ray tracing technology adds to the realism, enhancing lighting and reflections for more dynamic and visually arresting game environments. Moreover, the PS5's Tempest 3D audio tech significantly augments audio immersion, allowing players to perceive sound in a three-dimensional space. The backward compatibility feature is a boon for gamers, enabling them to enjoy most of their PS4 library on the new console with improved performance. High frame rates of up to 120 FPS make gameplay exceptionally smooth, crucial for fast-paced titles. The console's capability for 4K gaming ensures sharper, more detailed visuals, enhancing player engagement. Additionally, the PS5 boasts a robust library of exclusive and third-party titles, catering to diverse gaming tastes. Its user interface is not only intuitive but also enriched with new features like the control center and activity cards, further elevating the gaming experience. Lastly, the PS5 provides expandable storage options, addressing the need for additional space to accommodate an ever-growing games collection.